So I
Oh
already
no.
know how mad the internet's going to be about
Oh
this.
no, I knew it.
Here
The
he
little
goes.
pause, the little
And it's
shake of
so
the
annoying because everyone's
head.
gonna be like, "Oh, you're always trying to be the contrarian, yada yada." I'm like, I genuinely am never trying to be that. I'm just always saying what I think. Okay, but I really am like quite. I'm pretty bummed about Monster Hunter Wilds in most aspects, to be honest with you. Um, I am playing. So the performance wise, it's definitely problematic. Even on a high end PC, it's fucking struggle street, right? So that's a disappointment. Okay. And I know that people have it a lot worse than me running on lower end hardware. Okay. Unfortunately, that's how Capcom rolls these days with like their PC port release and RE engine kind of sucks, whatever else. So that's one thing. But like fundamentally, I think this game is a big step back in most aspects in the for like the Monster Hunter formula. I really do think that I'm now I'm probably I'm just about to finish chapter 4, which is I'm in high rank, right? So
Yeah.
I'm fighting the harder monsters, the harder challenges. It is
Mhm.
so ridiculously easy, this game. I still to
Yeah.
this point have not been triple carded the entire time. I'm not afraid of monsters. I'm just not scared of them. When I see 2 monsters at once, I'm like, finally a challenge. And if there's 3 of them in the one arena, I'm like, okay, this is gonna be good. Because I'm like, I'm so strong and the game is so easy that I need to be fighting 2 or 3 monsters at once for it to feel like a genuine challenge, you know? I think the the gear stuff side of it is super weak, at least at this point. But I'm in high rank, so I don't know how long I can keep up these excuses. But like, I don't really
Mhm.
need to think about status resistances and all this sort of stuff. So the game feels much weaker, and you can kind of just. I really didn't even need to. I think I upgraded my gear once during my entire low rank playthrough because there wasn't that much gear going in the first place, and it didn't make any difference because I wasn't getting hit. I wasn't dying. I didn't need to get stronger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I think the level design stuff with the raptor who just kind of drives you around and you don't even need to think about the levels and engage with them at all is a massive, massive step down. They did the same sort of thing in Rise, but this is worse. And I have no connection to space whatsoever. Um, I just, I just I came out of Monster Hunter World, sorry, with so many stories and memories of what it was like to drop those bosses
Yeah.
and be like, "Fuck, man, this thing and the engine at the first time." It was so epic. I still vividly remember so many of those encounters because they were so grueling and tense. And when I finally overcame them, I'm just like, "Oh my god, that was unbelievable." I don't have any stories like that for Wilds, not a single story. And that's now I'm like I don't know 20 plus hours deep. As I said, I'm in high rank. Um, I just think this is a massive, massive step down. I really do. And look, maybe the chapters 5 and 6 and and truly difficult high rank is better, but I shouldn't have to play through 20 hours of this
It should be
stuff.
difficult by then. Yeah.
Mm.
Totally, it was never like that with Worlds, and I just think this is a real bummer. I really do, and I also don't like the wound system. I don't know. There's a system in Monster Hunter Wilds where you wound a monster and then you can kind of just look at it and then hit a button and then you do this massive combo that does huge amounts of damage and then stuns them and then sets them up for even more damage after that, right?
Yeah.
That's dumb to me because I'm like, that doesn't take any skill. I'm just looking at something and hitting a button. Well, that's not interesting. But that is such
Yeah,
a
I think so I like it, but I think it would be better if it was harder to pull off.
thousand
Because
percent
then it
agree.
would feel distinctly Monster Hunter.
Totally agree.
Because when I went into that mechanic, because I described it in the last podcast, like when I jumped into that mechanic, when they show you what it is, I was like, okay, good luck with me pulling that off.
Yeah.
And then I pulled it off every time.
Because it doesn't take
And
any
that feels like something it shouldn't be in Monster Hunter, because Monster Hunter is
absolutely.
always kind of like that uphill
If there was a
battle.
wound that I needed to target specifically with like my normal attacks, sure, that's really great actually,
Yeah.
because then it forces me to like play in position better. But if there's a wound that literally just like magnetizes my weapon to it for a massive combo that sets up a stun, I'm just like, that's not it.
Mm.
Having said all of this, right? Is this still a good game? Of course, it's a good game. Like
That's the
the
thing.
spectacle of it
Yeah.
is unbelievable, and I think they've achieved completely. They've went above and beyond with monster designs this time around. There's such diversity in them. They're so fun to look at, and they're so just. I just wish they were
They're
fun,
crazy.
more fun to fight
Yeah.
against because they look impressive, but realistically, there's not much to them in terms of that challenge that they bring. Um, and like
But
Yeah, absolutely. Should you play Monster Hunter Wilds? Sure, but I would definitely recommend you play Worlds over this. I actually would 1,000% recommend that. I just
You are the outlier on this
oh,
though, right?
massively. Yeah, no one
Okay, I wonder where
else.
that disconnect is coming from. Jake and Lucy, have you guys played it? I
I
haven't
haven't
because I was
played it.
traveling when it came out.
Yeah.
I think a lot of other people have said similar stuff to what I'm saying, but I
I think
think
it's mixed on Steam
a
too.
lot of that's to do with
Oh,
But
performance.
there'll be
Oh,
performance for
performance.
Performance,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think a lot of people have said similar stuff to what I'm saying, but I think for me, it's just in totality, when I like add all of
It
these
matters
things
to you
up,
more.
it matters to me
Definitely.
more than it seems to have mattered to a lot of other people. Um, but yeah, look, but even in the Monster Hunter community, I'm definitely seeing some subreddit chatter. I'm seeing some stuff like a lot of people are happy with this, sure, but a lot of people are like, "Whoa, this is kind of a bummer." And I think
Hmm.
this one really feels like you need to wait for title updates and for the expansion to bring it back into line with what people were hoping for, I think, or not. Those people who are disappointed, they're waiting for that. I'm certainly waiting for that because I think some of the foundations are here for a really cool Monster Hunter experience, but some of them I just think are not. Again, the wound system, no. The level approach to level design and traversal, no, absolutely not. I just think when that difficulty comes online, sure, I think it's going to be much better. But even then, I just think there are some fundamental things here which I don't agree with the direction of the series. And I actually had similar complaints with Rise, where I was like, this wire bug, man, makes it too easy, makes it too easy to get out of trouble, makes it too easy to set yourself up for a mount. There's all sorts of things, right? I really want my monster hunting experience to be fucking grueling as. And this is not. This is super on rails and super convenient. And
First, every time you say rise, I keep thinking my brain goes to RYSE
yeah,
rise,
sure,
and I go,
Rise of
Oh,
yeah,
Son of
like,
Rome.
God
Son of
bless.
not
Rome.
that.
Yeah.
The
Um,
only other complaint that I have heard, which is just from some friends who've been playing, which I think is a really interesting criticism of Monster Hunter, is that the story feels in the
oh,
way.
dude,
They're like, I feel like it's giving me
Oh,
story
There's
when
a
I
lot
just
of
want
didn't
it.
to
they
fight
say
monster.
that? Didn't Capcom attribute its enormous success to the fact that people were digging the story? And then I saw a bunch of people
Maybe.
go,
it's
not sure
terrible.
about that one.
It's insane. It's such a bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. Like it's such a
Yeah,
bad
it's such an
story.
interesting criticism I have to be like it. Yeah. The conversation we were having about it, I was asking them about it, and they basically said like it feels like the story is there and it's preventing me from getting to the gameplay that I want, and
Absolutely.
it's frustrating. And I
Oh
was like,
no.
damn, that's rough.
High rank is much better because there's way less story, and I'm just fighting
Yeah,
monsters. But see, this is my pitch. Like Monster Hunter should not have anyone talking. Okay, Monster Hunter should just be sick ass cutscenes of like other hunters using weapons in fucking cool way. The
that
best,
Making
they made
food.
from a monster skin. Yeah,
correct. It should just be like because like there's this one scene in Wilds actually where this person, another hunter, is fighting with like a great hammer, and do you remember the scene, Jake, where she's like a
Yeah, it's
monster
fucking
appears and
awesome.
it's fucking sick, and she just like
Yeah.
does these things, and it's almost like watching those Sunny Legend videos where we
Oh
just
yeah.
when
Oh
that
yeah, yeah.
it's like that.
Yep.
That is incredible, and I just want to watch Capcom make those scenes, and I want to see someone use a Kinsek glaive like it's not possible to use it in the game, but they do all
Yeah.
sorts of sick shit. And that's the cutscene. That's the story. I don't want to hear you talking about boring shit. Don't show me that. Just show me cool monster hunting sequences that inspire me to want to pick up the same weapon. Do you know what I mean? That's what I want. And all the story stuff, no, toss it all out. Don't do it. It's super bad. Yet another reason why I did not enjoy this game because there was so much of it, and I was just so bored.
so are you definitively saying you don't enjoy it, or it's
Oh, it's
just you're
terrible. I don't
disappointed?
enjoy it. It's terrible. Like it's
Wow.
not like I don't even know how that's controversial. I just Jake, do you agree? Is this not terrible? Am I wrong about this?
I enjoyed playing it.
No. I mean, sorry, no. I'm not saying the game is terrible. Excuse me. The story stuff I'm talking about. I'm not saying the game is terrible.
Oh,
No, no,
okay.
no, no,
That's
no,
why I
no,
was like,
no.
didn't you say a minute ago that it's a good
No,
game?
no, no, no. Sorry,
So I
sorry.
was like,
Just to be
it's
super
terrible?
clear.
Yeah.
The story
Gotcha.
stuff
Okay, yeah,
is
yeah,
terrible,
okay.
right? The game, I have definitely enjoyed it for sure. Absolutely. It is a good game. I definitely net I recommend it to people for sure. But I think in comparison to what I was hoping it would be, in comparison to World, I think it's a big step back.